The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
So guys, in today's episode, we'll be talking about the new Batman teaser trailer which dropped on 22nd August via DC Fandom. The movie is directed by director Matt Reeves and stars Robert Pattinson as Batman. The movie focuses on a younger Batman who's trying to solve a murder mystery case in Gotham City. We see the introduction of Catwoman, Riddler and Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. During the course of the investigation, he delves deep into the corrupt history of Gotham City and how it intertwines with his own origins. Initially, Ben Affleck was tied to the project, but after he backed out, in comes Matt Reeves and he puts Robert Pattinson as Batman. And now, this is a very different Batman movie, first of all. The reason why it stands out is because it's gonna talk about Batman's psyche as well as his detective skills. I mean, it's gonna be a full-out superhero comic book movie, but it's gonna be more noir-driven and very realistic and very grounded. Also, expect this Batman to make a lot of mistakes because he's still a rookie. Something like Batman Year 1 where he tries to catch a criminal but his grapple gun, it just explodes and he falls right down in an alley. And his gadgets are still in the experimental phase, so we might not see some of his signature detective vision and all that. Just a simple guy in a bat costume, in a militaristic looking bat costume, still trying to find his way.
Ooh, the red WB and DC logo. Isn't that cool? It actually demarcates the movie from the rest of the DCEU, and it actually tells or it shouts that it's a different movie of its own, which it is. And it starts off with a serial killer working with tapes, duct tape, you can say, working with a tape, and it actually like tapes its victim, writing it, "No more lies." That actually gives you a thriller kind of a vibe to it, and this is what I love about the Batman movies. You know, this is how a Batman movie should be. And we do know that that guy, of course, the serial killer is the Riddler, no doubt. And of course, it's been played by Paul Dano. He's a nice actor, by the way. And this incarnation of, I can see, or maybe the depiction, which what they have taken it is from, it's somewhat like the Earth 1, the Batman Earth 1 comic book, where Riddler actually tests the Batman's will. You know, and remember guys, in this time, Batman is not yet the greatest detective. He's becoming the greatest detective. He takes the help of Gordon, a lot of people. You'll get there, okay? So this is how it starts, you know. Very interesting.
Now let's talk about the track that they've used in the trailer. And this is Nirvana's Something in the Way, which was in the groundbreaking album Nevermind. The song is about loneliness and an uneasy feeling that someone gets when he or she is in a tense situation. That's just my interpretation. The song could be about Bruce Wayne's loneliness as well as his one-man war on crime. One can also say it could be the uneasy feeling he gets while he's trying to uncover this case, because he's been faced with a lot of challenges and something is just holding him back. But again, that's my interpretation. Now this shot is of Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon making his way to the scene of crime. We see that once he's making his way, we see the FBI officers giving him a nod of respect, and at the same time we also see them looking at the camera. So basically it could mean one thing, that the Batman is also right behind him. Now I want you to draw your attention on the newspaper clippings sprayed with lies. As you notice, you can see Gotham Times and Gotham Gazette, and it says Mayor Mitchell Jr. wins a third term. So from what I can see, the Riddler is in fact trying to uncover a mystery, a conspiracy regarding Mayor Mitchell Jr.'s win for his third term. Maybe his win was rigged. Maybe it involves the Falcone family. So maybe we can also state that Riddler, in a very twisted way, is asking for Batman's help. In fact, he's challenging him to uncover the truth. Or maybe there's a greater conspiracy at play. God of Owls, maybe?
So, the first riddle, like, from your secret friend, haven't a clue. Let's play a game, just me and you. So the riddle is read out by Gordon, as we've seen him like telling Batman like, does anything mean to you? And it's somewhat more like gives a vibe of the movie Seven. You, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch that movie. It's Morgan Freeman. It's amazing. So even that movie also we see they're having those cars and this car thing with the messages on it. So here the Riddler is doing the same thing. Now we get to see what's in the car, right? So we see there's an owl and a skeleton, and skeletons in the closet. Secrets to uncover. Owls. Does it mean court of owls? I know we fans, we just go crazy, right? Owls, it has to be court of owls, yeah. So what does a liar do? He lies still. Damn this riddles. So Maroni's drug bust. You see that? Exactly. That drug bust could have led to the third win of the mayor. Because I have mostly seen mayors win for like twice, but not three times, right? It has to do something with it. Was the mayor and Falcone involved in Maroni's drug busts? So these are just some my theories, okay? Just I came up with possible theories. Can happen as mayors and criminals tend to work together, and when it's Gotham, anything is possible. Were they working together? Yeah. Did the mayor not honor a previous deal by Falcone? Might happen. Might happen. Or it's something more deeper, or a higher power caused a series of events which led to the mayor's win. Or is the higher power the court of owls? Or maybe this is what the Riddler is trying to expose it. I like criminals like that. I'm like, you're bad, but you're bad with a cause, right? It'll be interesting to like know all of this. And of course, that's not all. Like Falcone is played by John. It's John. One moment. It's John Turturro. I'm sorry, I'm not pronouncing it right. So who played Seymour Simmons in the Transformers franchise? I love that guy. I love that guy. He's funny. He's entertaining, and he's a good actor. Really good actor. Let's see how he plays the role of Falcone.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will talk about the new bat suit. Now, let me be very frank. Initially, I wasn't too sold on this new suit, but when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this one fits perfectly in this world, because this Batman, like I've said several times, he is a new Batman. He's still a rookie. He does not have a one-piece suit like Ben Affleck. It's still a work in progress. It has a very militaristic feel to it. You can see that he's taken inspiration from elsewhere. Maybe when he had gone for his training, he could have maybe taken some things from here, some things from there, and just assembled a suit. Something like the Arkham Origin suit. And if you see the suit carefully, the chest emblem reminds me of the Arkham Knight chest emblem, and the cowl and the cape very, very much like Gotham by Gaslight. Next shot is of a press conference, probably announcing the murder. The person in focus probably might be Gordon's superior officer, and I'm really sorry, I don't know the name of the actor as well. But if you look closely, there's also a grieving person, probably the mayor's widow. Now in this shot, we see Bruce Wayne assessing the press conference. This is probably after the investigation in the mayor's house, and also he still has his eye makeup on, and he still has that mask, and he's on his bike. Previous iterations of Batman they never really acknowledged the eye makeup, and I'm glad they're finally doing it here. In fact, I remember in Batman Returns, right in the final act, when Michael Keaton removes his mask, he's about to remove his mask, and when he removes his mask, the eye makeup is missing. But just a few moments before that, or even throughout the movie, the makeup is present. So I'm liking the fact that such small details they have incorporated in this movie, and it also gives a very gothic feel. Now we see Bruce Wayne making his way towards the Batcave. Maybe, I mean, it doesn't really look like a Batcave. It looks like some kind of abandoned subway tunnel or some abandoned underground facility. I don't think so. The Batcave right now is possible. Also, you can see some of his gadgets, the Bat computer, and I don't really see his Batmobile. And like I said, a young Batman, still a work in progress, and the movie is grounded, it's realistic. Probably in the second or third movie, we'll see a fully fleshed out Batcave. We also hear a voiceover which says, "You are becoming quite a celebrity." I believe this is Andy Serkis's version of Alfred, and I wish this is the Earth 1 rendition of the character because he is a badass. He's a total badass over there. He's an ex Royal Marine. He's an ex Royal Marines, and he previously saved Thomas Wayne, and he's got a walking cane. And I believe in that comic book, it was Alfred who trained Batman, and Batman has a very street fighter kind of fighting style. So it would be interesting if this Alfred was the one who taught him, who trained him, and who honed him to be his Batman. Also, if we see this version of Alfred, I'm pretty sure, just like the comic book, there will be a short fight sequence between these two.
So here many are saying this is the mayor's funeral, and I believe it is the mayor's funeral. As you can see, like there are a few cops, like wearing their white gloves. It's exactly this. We saw this like same kind of a scenario in the Dark Knight, not as grand as Dark Knight, but it looks like a mayor's funeral because you see all the important people around there. So, and of course, if Bruce Wayne's there along with the all big people, it has to be the mayor's funeral. And of course, there's the car comes crashing in, and I believe that's for the mayor's son because it's whom Bruce saves, right? And if you see in the car, there's some scratch mark, and there's some, I won't say riddle, but there's something written on it, right? And I definitely believe it's for his son, like the mayor's son, and Bruce protects his son, right? He saves him. Yeah. So, and the car has a paint called DOA, dead or alive. The guy comes out with this face stabbed in his mouth, and I believe with a bomb strapped in it too, because in further to the scene you'll also get to see the thing getting exploded, and there you don't see Bruce Wayne, you see Batman. I just want to know how he changed so fast, and I believe the funeral takes place in day, so Batman coming out in daylight. Okay. So of course he comes out, and of course he has a phone in his hand, like taped in his hand, and his face is also being taped, his mouth, and the letter says like Batman. Okay. So, and of course we see Bruce pissed. He's like, damn man, can't I come to a funeral and just sit there and enjoy the funeral? No one enjoys funeral. I'm so sorry. Now moving ahead, we see Selina Kyle, like doing Catwoman stuff. Remember, she's not yet Catwoman here. Batman is not fully Batman. Catwoman is not fully Catwoman out here, okay? She's doing Catwoman stuff. Of course, played by Zoe Kravitz. Yes, Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz. What's happening to me? Why am I not able to pronounce those names? Yeah. So crime scenes, like she's doing a robbery, and we see the Catwoman ears, Maybe it's not the actual helmet, but I like it. It has a very authentic, self-made touch to it. Now then we see Penguin. Colin Farrell has outdid it. See his makeup, guys. I'm like, Oswald Cobblepot. Like he has put on some weight and then brilliant makeup. It has to go for Oscars for best makeup. I'm telling you, it has to.
We hear these lines: "If you are justice, please don't lie. What is the price for your blind eye?" I'm pretty sure this is by Riddler, and he is challenging Batman. He's telling Batman, since you are the harbinger of justice, how come you have never seen these, let's say, greater conspiracies that are working here, or the murders that are taking place here? So he's challenging Batman that since you are justice, if you call yourself justice and you still haven't been able to uncover all these things, then you, sir, are as blind as a bat. The next shot is that we see some criminals in black and white makeup, and there's this one guy on the right side with a cross. There have been some rumors in the internet that they are actually Joker's men, and I hope that is not the case, because I am so freaking tired of Joker everywhere. We have seen the Joker movie, we have seen Heath Ledger as Joker, we have seen Jared Leto as Joker. There's just too much Joker going on, and let's give a chance to the other members of the Rogue Gallery, please. So if you notice the guy on the right, like I said, he has the sign of the cross on his forehead. It can be said they can be Deacon Blackfire's men. This character has been on Arkham Knight, and albeit he was a pretty disappointing boss, so he could play like a small minor role in the film. I'm not too sure, but I'm just going by the statement because of the cross. So take my words with a pinch of salt. Now this reminds me of the test footage that was released of Robert Pattinson as Batman. You can see the mask, you can see the cape, just the suit in a red light. That's it, nothing to comment here. We see a short scuffle in the GCPD between Batman and the cops. Now I don't know what really is going on. Probably the cops have a general disdain for Batman and his lethal force, as well as Batman may distrust some of the cops. Maybe he still views them as dirty cops. So I still can't draw much from this scene, but that's what I feel. Now this is a very well choreographed scene between Selina Kyle and Batman. Probably this looks like the mayor's place where the murder had taken place, and she's here to do her Catwoman kind of things, all the stealing and all that. And as you can see, Batman probably might be following her, and I really like this shot. It's the first encounter between these people. Now we see an explosion here. Probably is the suicide bomber from the previous shot. As you can see, Batman must have been busy trying to just diffuse the situation, but as you can see, it's been a complete failure. And this is where the second Batsuit theory kicks in. The Batsuit may have been destroyed here, and to make sure that he is still able to work, there's a second Batsuit, a prototype maybe, which comes in handy. This is a perfect shot of Matt Reeves' version of Riddler. He is in fact played by Paul Dano, and he is not really known as Edward Nygma here. In fact, he goes by a very different moniker. Basically, his name here is Edward Nashton, and this name is basically when Riddler first showed up, and his name was Edward Nashton and not Edward Nygma. Also, as you can see, this Riddler is very different from the comic book Riddler that we know of. He has covered himself with sellotape, and he is wearing something like a greenish trench coat, like green trench coat. When I first saw this shot, the first person that came to my mind was Hush. Now, for those who don't know Hush, he's a pretty new villain in the Batman mythos. He also has a similar moniker. Also, there have been certain theories that Hush could also be a major player in this new Batman series. Probably Riddler and Hush are working together just like in the comics. This is probably my favorite shot from the entire trailer. We see Batman taking down a thug, and people were a little worried how this Batman is going to be, because Ben Affleck's version of Batman was simply amazing. In fact, the iconic warehouse scene where he takes down the entire gang of criminals who had kidnapped Martha Kent was simply amazing. It was in fact like the Arkham games had come to life. And here, this Batman is no less. I mean, it's like a complete brutal assault on the criminal, and very Street Fighter-like kind of vibe. Not the game, I mean his fighting style. And I want to see what kind of action scenes this movie is going to give us, because I'm totally sold on this beatdown. I mean, this worked very well. And even after this guy falls down, he continues to punch him twice. So he's still, what you see is unfiltered, unbridled rage of a young man who's still pent up, and he still hasn't moved on from his parents' death. And that line, "I am vengeance," it's amazing. No actor has ever used those iconic three lines: "I am vengeance," "I'm the Knight," "I'm the Batman." That was done by Kevin Conroy in the animated series, and this works so well. I hope the other two lines, we hear it in the course of the movie.
But then we have a glimpse of the Batmobile, right? The grounded version of the Batmobile. Know this. This Batmobile is the Ford 1969 Mustang with nitro boosters slash afterburners. Now, this Batmobile is made by Batman himself. So if anyone complaining about it, guys, he made the suit, he made the Batmobile. So like we are getting rumors about like he might get a new suit also after this suit gets burned down or something happens with it. So remember, he will get a proper Batmobile later on. So imagine Ben Affleck for a while. 20 years later, right? When he says that 20 years in Gotham, not many good guys left, not many stayed that way. So now that guy was talking about those 20 years before Robert Pattinson. He was like that, okay? So that kind of Batman he is now, okay? Not that experienced, but gritty as hell. And then again, we hear the Batman theme. I love the Batman theme that's playing around. That of course Nirvana one. And we see Batman chasing Penguin, okay, with his Batmobile, and Penguin is like this guy is crazy, and of course he is. So then we see these the thugs actually shooting him on his chest plate, and like it's not like the RoboCop style. They shoot him like talk, like nothing happened, right? So he gets pushed back a little bit. Now I like that effect, the small yellowish spark you see in it, and then again he grapples and just runs away, like in the staircase thing, and from while other people shooting him, maybe cops are shooting at him with other people, maybe. Uh, so, but one more thing, in this scene, check this like snap that I've took, and the face like made me feel like, is that the coat of owl's mask, or maybe I'm just seeing things, it might be anything. So then again, next we see the Batman enters in front of Batman stands up in front of all the painted goons. Maybe after actually like brutally beating down the first goon, and then he's standing up. It's like, who's next? And everyone's like, bro, not us, not us. So yeah, that was really nice. And then of course the logo comes out in the most iconic way. You see this Batman coming in, okay, with those ears and the Nirvana song, and of course the red. I just love the red in this teaser. I just want them to stick to it. The red. It's amazing, something new, and really makes me feel good. Then afterwards we see Batman unmasks himself, and he's tired, and he's angry, tired and pissed. Okay. And of course a kind of emotional, because he says he hears a voice. Maybe it's Riddler. I believe it's Riddler who's saying, right, like you are a part of this too. So is it Riddler speaking to Batman or Bruce Wayne? I think Batman. And he says, how am I part of this? And he said, you'll see. Then we see the Bucky shot. No, it's Bruce Wayne's, of course. Now by now everyone knows that, right? When you wear the Batman mask, you have to put those, those black shade in your eyes, and that's how you get the iconic look. You take that out, you'll see this whole skin, So yes, even Bucky did that too. So before we move to the end, I have to tell you guys, now this is way too grounded and way too gritty, and I can say it went more grounded than Nolan. Nolan was amazing. It went more grounded than that. And just to tell you, we have few rumors about like maybe the Hush is going to be there and everything. Just to tell you, the Gotham City comprises of the Wayne family. Remember, when I say Wayne family, Batman's mom, Martha, don't go to Batman vs Superman yet, Martha, her surname is Martha Arkham. So this is Arkham family, yes. So that's just a lot of people say that he gets his craziness from his mom. We have the Elliot family, okay, and of course we have Cobblepot, you have the Falcones, and amazing. I just love the Batman thing. It gives a more or less the it's like kind of the mafia, and of course a vigilante mafia vibe, and I believe in this movie we will be actually experiencing the full Batman world, the detective one, or I can say the detective Batman, the one who explores, and a little thriller vibe to it. It's gonna be amazing. And of course, if you see the Batman, sorry, has dominated fandom. Snyder was second, as I have to say, but Batman was a clear winner of the DC fandom, and people are still checking its videos, its trailer and all, its reactions, and I'm telling you, it has broken all records. Like, people are going crazy over it. I'm going crazy over it, isn't it? So, Ren, on to you.
So far, only 25 to 30% of the movie has been shot. I would compare the Batman franchise to the James Bond franchise because they're just one character and they have been played so many times by different actors. Unlike RDJ or Hugh Jackman and most of the MCU heroes, the actor makes the character, but in the case of Batman, it's the other way around. The character makes the actor. Sean Connery was the suave as well as Roger Moore, but he added a little bit of fun element to it. Chris Brosnan was the stylish one, and Daniel Craig was the more book-accurate, no-nonsense James Bond. Now, with the Batman actors, Adam West was the 1960s campy one, and then comes Michael Keaton, who was Tim Burton's gothic version of Batman. Then comes the camp infused MTV style 90s Joel Schumacher Batman, and those include your Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Then comes the more serious death metal vocalist version of Christian Bale, and then we have the Arkham infused Frank Miller style of Ben Affleck, and now we have Robert Pattinson learning the ropes. My point being this, there'll be several Batman, so let's just enjoy all of them. Now, unlike Marvel, DC is going for a multiverse approach, meaning just picture this giant circle as the DC universe. At the center of it, you have the Snyderverse, which includes Aquaman, Shazam, the Justice League movie, Man of Steel, Ben Affleck's Batman. On the other side, you have the CW shows, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. And on the other side, you have Titans, you have Doom Patrol, and the one character which probably will connect everyone is the Flash. And this, I believe, gives DC directors more freedom around their characters. They are open to experiment as long as they are true to the source material. So let's now get ready for 2021, The Batman. That's it for today. If you liked the video, do hit us a like and do subscribe. This is Ren signing off.